Hello and welcome to Afternoon Tea with Karen. And is Jacinta Allen a witchy poo? Anthony Albanese, Julia Gillard joined Victorian Premier Jacinta Allen in denouncing sexist billboards. Ditch the witch. Now, for about 4 hours, I've been thinking, what's the gender neutral term for a witch or warlock? And I can't think of one. So, yeah, some men can be witches. Anyway, interspersed with the anti Premier slogans were sexually suggestive advertisements for Melbourne brothel Gotham City, which said it was one of the businesses behind the campaign. So it wasn't the local peasants with pitchforks. Gotham City was the target of a drive by shooting in April during a spat of attacks on Melbourne hospitality venues. Julia Gillard posted on X a very long double spaced post that doesn't have the word witch in it once. So sexism is bad, but I'm not going to tell you what I thought was sexist because if I say that I think the term witch is sexist, the witchy poo community and hocus pocus people might all come after me and say, no, witches aren't bad people and that sort of thing. So in order not to upset people, she's just left the word that she finds offensive out. Anyway, if we don't draw a line, the line will keep moving. So just as well she put in all those new hate speech laws. And we've got replies from the usual suspects who are all women. Now, just referring back to Emily's list, which is members of the Labor Party, all women members of the Labor Party that help each other get into Parliament and all support abortion up to birth. Anyway, here's a little letter from them from 2021 to the Sex Discrimination Commissioner. As an organisation with 25 years' experience in supporting ALP women get elected into the federal and state territory parliaments of Australia, we, Emily's List Australia, are extremely grateful for this opportunity to make a submission to this critical review. About Emily's List Australia, it is built by a national feminist political support network. I'm not a feminist. I'm not a suffragette either. Anyway, worked with the West Australian, Victorian, New South Wales, Tasmanian, Queensland, and South Australian MPs to decriminalise abortion up to birth. Before that, it was like 20 weeks or something. Commissioned gender gap research into ways governments can meet the needs of women by putting their kids into childcare as soon as they're born and get back into the coal mines. Right, they reckon they're independent. They are recognised as national leaders in political mentoring. Some things that we looked at the in the last video. Some percentages. And experience informs the change needed to create a safe workplace for women where they can thrive. So that's from Marie Overall, CEO of Emily's List Australia in 2021. So, recommendations: a safe workplace for everyone who works in Parliament House requires the following: a code of conduct for all staff, including MPs, that clearly states expectations, standards, and obligations, an accessible complaints procedure by an independent authority that supports any staff members to make complaints and obtain support they need, an independent human resource department to oversee all employment related complaints and investigations at first instance. Personal support and counselling services are available to all staff and include in the induction process for all new staff members. So they need to employ more staff for all these things so far. A clear policy on alcohol use within the workplace and prohibition of alcohol consumption during parliamentary sitting hours. Well, that one doesn't. Review of schedules and procedures of the Parliament to limit the number of working hours and conditions for all staff. include gender equity workplace reporting on positions and pay across the parliament and political parties, set gender equity requirements for all parliamentary employment levels, committees, and working groups, provide opportunities for professional development and networking that include provisions for and consideration of staff with caring responsibilities so access is not restricted, party specific training and induction for all new MPs and staff, especially in the establishing and running of electorate offices and ministerial offices, management of staff, expectations of roles, and conflict resolution. 11. Specific support for new MPs in the first 6 months in establishing office, hiring staff and human resource responsibilities, matching MPs and ministerial chiefs of staff with experienced MPs and former chiefs of staff as mentors who are absolutely independent and committed to developing and support of the mentee. Adopt a party specific code of conduct and complaints procedure, including disclosures of sexual harassment and assault that covers all MPs, staff, interns, party members, and volunteers who participate in the political process. And just a quick note if you don't know what I'm talking about, Emily's List started in America, and Emily stands for early money is like yeast, alluding to the way yeast makes dough rise. Anyway, someone else from America, Roseanne. She had something interesting to say about Emily's List.
And the deeper I got into lefty stuff, I'd say, well, by God, it is true that all these socialist women are in covens. They're all in covens.
No, they are. They
Hillary
100%
Clinton's
are.
in one.
100% they are. Like a Luciferian witch cult. It's true. It's
It
true.
is true.
It's not even we're not even joking. It's true. But my point is, you see what they did
Hillary's
to the left,
an
right?
honorary member of
But let me ask.
several covens. Remember they had this thing called, oh God, I can't remember. It's probably better I don't say it.
Yeah, you'll get.
But, PACs, women's PACs, where they would choose a woman candidate and then back her. Emily's List. All. They think they're raising a cone of power and getting their consciousness in tune with above the patriarchal control.
Yeah.
But then they start doing weird shit.
Well, because they're in touch with a higher authority, which is Lucifer, who is powerful.
But if people knew that the underground and all the terror in it and all the child sacrifice and everything else they do, organ harvesting, is all run by women, and they're all witches, and they're for real witches, blood drinkers, and they...
That's true. People think
all
we're crazy.
these people are in bed with each other.
Yeah.
The fact that they're in bed with jihadis is really weird.
And to the list of things I don't believe in, we can add Lucifer as well. And is she? Well, maybe she is, maybe she isn't. That'll do. See you later. Bye.